Okay, actually getting up and moving here. Transmission's still pretty responsive. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the all-new Mazda CX-30. Before we get into this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Tim Daly Mazda here in Southtown, Utah for giving me some time with this CX-30. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask for Jake. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 26 around town and then 33 on the highway thanks to cylinder deactivation. Power outputs are 191 horsepower and then 186 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go to the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood here, normal Mazda fashion, you guys can see it's just like flat there in the center, and then it kind of slides off on either side. And then coming down below, we got these cool LED daytime running lights. Then you can see the headlights in the center of that. And then notice that the grille is blacked out. We do have some chrome trim around it, and then on the Mazda logo as well. And then notice the little amber light there at the bottom. That's pretty cool. And putting it all together, the CX-30, especially in this color, looks good. Coming around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 215, 55, 18 in the front and in the rear as well. And you guys can see here with the metallic gray on the wheels, I think that also looks great. We got these chunky fender flares here, and then that bodywork continues all along the side. Notice that the mirror is body painted, and then you got some chrome trim right there around the windows. And then taking a look at the full side profile here of the CX-30, definitely has that kind of like rugged, lifted hatchback type appearance, similar to the Subaru Crosstrek. Now here is the key fob. You guys can see you got the Mazda logo there on the back, and then here on the side you got actually all the buttons. So we have our unlock function, our lock function, and then the opening for the hatch. So when it comes to storage space in the rear of the CX-30, it's actually pretty solid. Again, I would look at this as like a lifted hatchback in terms of storage rather than, you know, an SUV, but I mean, still, it's practical. And then when you're all done, just press that button right there, and that will lower the hatch right back down. Now the lights on the new CX-30, and the taillights to be more specific, look really cool. And then you guys can see all of our badges here in the back, including the all-wheel drive badge. And then we've got these sporty exhaust tips down below. And then putting it all together, I do think that this is a pretty cool looking vehicle. Kind of looks like a mini CX-9. Now with the door panel here, you guys can see really nice padding, and then also down below with the stitching, got our window control right there, and I think just a nice looking door panel. Really nice perforated seats here, as you can see, and the cream color looks pretty good. Now when it comes to legroom, I mean, I fit, but it is a little bit more on the cramped side, and then you guys can see the vents right there. And then headroom's actually pretty solid back here. And, well, if I can get it out, we have a couple of armrests. I'm surprised how many surfaces are padded in here. Now with the front door panel, you guys can see again, really nice padding all over, and yeah, just look at all the trim. It looks fantastic. Got your window controls right here. We've got the mirror adjustments, door lock and unlock, and then the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring, and well, there's the door panel. Now this might be a better look at the coloration on these seats. I know the lighting's kind of horrible today. It's just what I got to deal with. Yeah, look at the bottom there. It's kind of like, yeah, it's just a really cool color, and then the seats are power adjustable. So we got our memory seat function built in. That is for the hatch. That's actually your hill climb assist, and then that's for the safety tech. So here is the steering wheel. You guys can see really nice leather trim, and then you guys can see you've got the darker stitching there in the center to match. Adaptive cruise control. We got our volume controls, and then you've got controls here for the center stack as well. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock. So I've got this cool digital gauge cluster here in the center. You guys can see the analog-ish gauges on either side. Now I can press this info button to scroll through different bits of information on the car, hence the name info button. And then we also do have some drive modes. Well, we have sport mode, and then we have a not sport mode. Now in reverse, you guys can see we do have a backup camera here, and then you've got trajectory lines, and resolution's pretty solid. So here's our infotainment system. You guys can see that it's actually controlled via dial. Sorry, the camera's going to freak out as I move the dial because it doesn't want to focus. But basically, you can just go into the different menus with the dial, and it's pretty easy to use because you've got a bunch of shortcut buttons. I'll show you guys the control stack in a little bit, but there's the infotainment screen. Really nice material use all over the dash as well, and you guys can see all of the vents. There are quite a few. We've got our dual zone climate controls, and then we also do have heated seats here for the front passengers. So we got some cup holders here. We also have some storage as well. And then here's our shifter for that 6-speed automatic. Drive mode select right next to it. And then it does have a manual shift function. And that's what these paddles here on the back of the steering wheel that I forgot to mention earlier are actually for. And then here's the whole infotainment system control stack and then volume control as well. You got your parking brake, your auto hold. And then look at the center console lid. Very nice with the material use. You can see tons of storage inside. It's cool that it like slides backwards and forwards. And I really like, again, just the material use throughout. And of course, this does have a glove box. And look at that, nice metallic trim that goes across the dash. And then you guys can see here, we've got the mirror with a manual dimmer function, and then got a sunroof. So here's our window sticker for this 2023 Mazda CX-30. This one is in the premium package, if you guys are wondering. This color is called Platinum Quartz Metallic. But anyways, 31,500 is the base MSRP. There are a few options, but most everything is standard. 32,550 is the total MSRP on this particular car. And bum-ba-dum. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, and you guys can see the heads-up display now. Both the mirrors just do a blind spot monitoring. And throw out the rest of the rear, and let's set off. Setting off in the CX-30 with the updated powertrain. And I'm not sure if I'll post this video first or the CX-30 Turbo first. I am driving them on the same day, back to back. So my impressions, with the powertrains compared to each other will be more in that CX-30 Turbo review. But, let's at least talk about how this naturally aspirated powertrain performs. First off, still feels really good. This is a really strong powertrain for this segment. The biggest competitor for this is frankly the Subaru Crosstreks. That's kind of what everyone compares this to. You do have the new Honda HR-V, which kind of, is taking the segment by storm because it looks cool, but, well, it's not exactly the performance, like CUV that this is. Now, first thing that's really nice about this compared to the competitors is just the interior. I mean, that's something you guys can see in the walk around. Like, the fit and finish is fantastic. Material use is fantastic. Again, you got to remember, this ultimately is like technically an economy car. This doesn't feel like an economy car though. Like, I've reviewed quite a few luxury cars this year, and like, you get in like a base model like Audi, for example, or BMW, and like they got an okay interior, but like, I mean, this is right up there with those manufacturers. And then another thing is seat comfort's also really good. It must be like lunch. Oh, it's 12:41. I'm like, it must be lunch break or something. There's usually not this amount of traffic right now. Okay, actually getting up and moving here. Transmission's still pretty responsive. Now, I haven't seen any, I haven't really heard any cylinder deactivation stuff quite yet, but I also haven't moved enough to really experience that. I'll try to coast at the end after the acceleration to really get that to happen, or hopefully get it to happen. Yeah, this thing's still very kind of like punchy. That's the best way to describe it. So I'll get acceleration here. Woo! Yeah, transmission is still super responsive. Okay, so I'm just going to coast here. I'm gonna get it. Oh yeah, I could feel it. I could feel it. I have several vehicles that have cylinder. I've owned several vehicles that have cylinder deactivation, so I know exactly how it feels. Let's see again. Oh yeah, there it is. So the best way to describe it is the way to tell, like, you can kind of hear the engine has a slightly different tone when the cylinders are deactivated. And the other thing is the throttle response. It's like way pulled back compared to when you have, all of the cylinders firing. So yeah, it seems like it's pretty active. I mean, like, as soon as you start coasting in this, yeah, there you go. That's it downshifted and then got out of it. That's a big change actually to how this drives. Now in the sport mode, it was super responsive, so I'm guessing that it cuts off the cylinder deactivation in sport mode so that you don't have any sort of lag in the response. Man, everyone's at Costco today too. Good thing. Oh yeah, good thing I did not see. I took the right driving route. I would have just had to sit, but I've turned left. Oh boy. So summing things up here with this CX-30. I like how this looks. I love the interior. It still drives like a Mazda. It still has really good steering, handling, seat comfort's amazing. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about this. And I know that some people might be upset about the cylinder deactivation, but this is what automakers have to do to stay up with, you know, what the government wants when it comes to vehicle efficiency. And so it's the price to pay for efficiency. I'd rather have cylinder deactivation than, you know, have everything be all electric. That's just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think about this, and that's all. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this Mazda CX-30. Let me know what you guys think about this new CX-30, especially considering the powertrain updates. And with that being said, again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Tim Daly Mazda here in Southtown, Utah for giving me some time with the CX-30. Check out the info in the description down below. I'll see ya.